Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my very first interview, kindly sponsored by Box Zone Official. If you need any edits done, any graphics done, hit him up, Box Zone Official on Twitter. And of course, I'm joined by my guy, Hus Ragip. How you doing, my guy?
I'm good, the fan. What is happening? Good to see you and hear from you, man.
100%, my guy, 100%. So, Hus, I wanted to get into your story because I feel like within the Misfits, or I guess you can say influencer boxing scene, I don't think you're appreciated or your story isn't as appreciated as it should be. Now, could you tell us what's your story? Where did you start off, and how did you get into ring announcing?
Yeah, man. I mean, I would say my work is appreciated. I've been shown a lot of love from people behind the scenes that not everyone sees, and that's including Misfits, Wasserman and the Zone. Behind the scenes, I can assure you I've been shown a lot of appreciation and worked in a good relationship with these guys. So I can say that. But I get where you're sort of coming from, maybe not so much on the media side,
Yeah,
but that's all cool, man. We'll just work towards that. Do you know what I mean? But it all sort of started back in 2019 when I was working for the Docklands Light Railway train service for TFL, and I was working at Bank Station, and I was a customer service advisor. Was it? I can't remember. Yeah, I think yes, CSA. I think whatever. Um, but so I was just stationed at Bank. Like I wasn't on the trains. I was just like monitoring crowd control at that platform, basically platform 9 and 10. And then we had these tannoys. We had this little
yeah,
device, this little grey sort of microphone. You press into it and you start talking, and like it goes around all the speakers around in the train station. So and I remember doing the training for the job, and they said, like, if you can do the announcements like in a quirky style, and as long as you're not being rude or swearing or talking about any like politics or anything like that, they were all for it, man. And I just thought, I need to introduce a train, and I just thought, who has the best introductions? And it's boxers. So then I
yeah.
started introducing trains as boxers, and then it just like got videoed, and then one clip just went viral, and I remember people coming up to me in the station saying, "Hey man, you the one that done it yesterday?" I go, "Yeah," and he just shows me his phone and goes, "You're on Sky Sports." That was mental. And then I just remember Michael Buffer and Derek Chisora being the first two to retweet it, and then just one thing led to another, man, and we started announcing, and now we're here.
Hey, man, I remember seeing that clip. It went viral on Twitter around 2019.
Yeah.
And I think you said Frank Warren, was it, that retweeted it, or was it Chisora?
No, it was Michael Buffer, and because he was in London for an AJ fight, I remember.
Yeah.
And yeah, he retweeted it, and then Derek Chisora retweeted it. And then actually, Calais and Nisei Saulen done a
Oh,
tweet
wow.
as well. Yeah, they
Yeah.
actually did a tweet as well. And yeah, then I was just getting approached by other promoters, and then I went and got licensed professionally. I had to like revise and go for an
Yeah.
interview, and I passed and got my license, and then I just started doing pro shows as well. Like that's where I started off, was pro shows.
So you started off as pro shows. Tell me, how did your I guess how did your thing with Misfits come along?
Um, I was I was a few years into it by then, and I just remember seeing the zone put put like a casting call out for ring announcers for the new series, and I remember seeing it, and and then me and my wife were looking at it and talking about it, and at that point, I actually decided not to do it. I actually did decide. I said, I'm not going to do it because at the time I didn't know if it would affect all the work I'm doing in the pro game. I wasn't sure if doing influencer events would like affect the pro side of shows that I do. And it's like I said, I've done it for like a few years there, and I built up a lot of like people to work with, promoters to work with, and doing a lot of shows. So like I wasn't sure, so that's
Yeah,
why I decided not to do it. And then but I remember there was another extra day on the deadline, so I slept on it. So
yeah,
I had my sleep. I remember waking up in the morning. Um, I remember just waking up before everyone, my kids and my wife, and I go down and I made a coffee. And then as I was making my coffee, I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So I was just waiting for my missus to wake up. She woke up and I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna apply and see what happens. And she was just like, go for it, man. So then I remember coming to my computer, editing a video of some of my announcements that I did on the pro scene, and I wrote my little paragraph that they asked for,
yeah,
and that was it. And then I just applied, and then so one day's gone, and then after that day, I knew it was the deadline because that's when they stated where they're gonna announce the winner.
yeah.
So I remember it was the day, and me and my wife were just checking socials constantly. We're just checking to see who's the winner, and I remember checking all morning, man, and all afternoon, coming like sort of just coming on dawn of the evening, and I was like, I've had enough. Like, I'm not looking at my phone anymore. I remember throwing my phone across onto the sofa, and I turned on the PS5 and I started playing console. And then I was like really into my game. I was playing, and then I felt a little like vibrate on the sofa. I looked, and my phone lit up. So I thought, what's this, man? I get it. I open, I look at it, and it's a DM from the zone, man. And I
Oh
was
wow.
like, oh yeah. So that's when I got the news that I won, and to call a number and liaise. And yeah, I called, and it was Aggie. Shout out to Aggie from the zone.
Shout out.
She's been there from day one, and she really works hard, man, and
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
the work she does behind the scenes. So big shout out to Aggie. And yeah, man, then I was told that I got the spot and that I'll be sharing with another ring announcer. I was like, okay, cool. So I've got this will be fun. And then that's when it turned out the other ring announcer was Fox the G.
Oh yeah. It was
Yeah,
for
so
the King Kenny fight, right? That he ring announced.
yeah, and I think he called out their ring walks for their ring
Ah,
walks, but
okay.
I
Yeah.
announced the actual fight.
Yeah.
And I think he did Deji as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did Deji as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then that's what happened there, man. And then we
So
went ahead for Misfits One.
so your first show was Misfits 1. Describe to me the feeling of walking into the O2 Arena. You're just about to ring announce a card where KSI, my guy, KSI is the main event. What was that like feeling like, you know?
Um, I remember going into the arena, like way before and seeing it, and I was just like, I was blown away by it, man. Like I look like just looking around, and I remember just saying to myself, "Wow, this is like the biggest show that I'm doing. This is the biggest show so far that I'm doing." And because I never done a show that big and for that many people, never before that point. And I just remember just being excited, taking it all in. I had fun in rehearsals, just always staying in a positive vibe. And I just remember thinking, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna show the world, man. I'm gonna
Yeah,
just give it my all and have fun doing it, and put
yeah.
my passion and pride into my performance. Give it everything I got, and but just have fun doing it as well and enjoying it, man. And it was such a big thing. This was the first time I met Michael Buffer in person,
Oh wow,
and
what was that
and
like?
that was amazing.
Yeah,
I remember we met at the. I saw him at the press conference, but I didn't actually get to meet him. But I met him at the weigh-in,
yeah,
and the zone wanted to do like a record a little clip where we were actually meeting and stuff. And then, but when we met, um, he remembered what I'd done on the trains, and he was like so happy to see me, and he was
yeah.
congratulating me for coming from the trains to doing what I'm doing, like doing Misfits, and it was an awesome experience meeting him, and yeah, so it was a big thing for me, man. It was just a massive feeling, bruv. But I just, had to stay professional, perform, and just give everything I got, man.
100%, my guy. Well, Hus, now that we have you here, it's
Mhm.
only right we get you to ring announce live on air. Now, what I want you to ring announce is
Yeah.
coming
Okay.
into the red corner, KSI is a legend. Can we get that from you today?
So coming into the like fighting out of the red corner,
Fighting out of the red corner. Yes,
KSI, the
is a
legend,
legend. Yeah,
is a legend. Okay.
yeah.
And now, fighting out of the red corner,
Let's
KSI
go!
is
A
a
legend!
legend.
Let's go, bro. Let's go. Oh man, I love that. I love that. That needs to get clipped up. 100%, 100%.
Standard.
Now, Hus,
Yeah.
now we know you ringing out possibly one of the greatest moments in Misfits boxing history. And that was at Misfits 004 in front of a crowd of 13,000.
Yeah, I
And it
remember
was
that.
when Pineda was the mystery opponent. What was that
Yeah.
like?
Um, that was awesome because I remember during the build up to it, while I was there, and I just remember like I didn't know it was the mystery opponent until like rehearsals,
Oh, wow.
and I got to see the band all like rehearsing them coming out with the guitars and stuff, and I thought, oh, this is awesome. So I knew it was Pineda.
Yeah.
Um, but then I remember when he was before he was coming out, I still didn't have his details.
Oh, wow.
I remember, yeah. So I remember I was running around to the sound guy. I'm going, hey, I still ain't got. No one's giving me Pineda's details. So then everyone's running around, rushing, and then they managed to get me the details quick. So I was like, awesome. So I wrote it all down. Then announced that, and now introducing our mystery opponent, and then Pineda came out. That was awesome. Like his ring walk and the guitar players and the crowd loved it. And then I remember announcing B Dave, and then when I threw it over to Pineda, started announcing Pineda, the crowd just went mental, and for me, that was one of the announcements of the night for me, man. On 04, Pineda got a good
100%.
reception. He got an
Yeah.
amazing reception, and it just all flowed, and with the build up, and it just like it was epic,
Yeah,
man.
man. I
Felt
remember
that.
watching it live on pay-per-view, and it was the Undertaker music
Yeah,
that
yeah.
really got to me, bro. And I was home alone, and I'll be honest, I was shitting myself, bro, because I was looking around like honestly, bro, it was amazing. But for some reason, of course, during fight week, we had people saying, "Oh, it might actually be the Undertaker." Um, there was many different guesses,
Mm.
but for me, it's up there, man. It's up there in terms of Misfits
Yeah,
boxing, and you know, when it comes to
that was that
Pineda,
was that was all done well.
yeah,
That was all
yeah,
done awesome. That whole like the whole production, the
yeah.
the way it all happened and everything. That was such spot on, like working geniuses to pull that off, man, the way they did. That was awesome.
Shortly after Hus, we've seen you sign with Happy Punch. Now, how did that come about?
That came about. Keem just contacted me, and he me and him spoke, and he was helping with a few things behind the scenes to like help rebuild, you know, everything with Misfits and the Zone and Wasserman and then yeah, so like he said that he would like to have me on Happy Punch and like to help like promote and to do like voiceover work for them and if they like when Happy Punch like has their own card and stuff,
Yeah,
like I could get to announce that as well, which would be awesome. To see a Happy Punch card also, and yeah, man. So then from there, me and Keem, we got a good relationship, and we just carried like we just working together, and yeah, man, just another it's another great platform and great people to work with, man.
yeah. Now, Hus, what I want to ask you is, of course, we know that you do work at quite a lot of pro boxing shows, whether it's at the York Hall. You know, what we want to know is what is the difference in atmosphere between a pro boxing show and a typical Misfits event?
um it depends, it really does depend. I gotta give it to the influencer crowd. They like, just for the fact that they show up soon as the doors open and leave right at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah,
That's a major thing there. That's like proper support. Because like, I'm not saying all, but some pro shows, like it gets more packed out for the main event and stuff like that. But and also, yeah, like the influencer crowd do like their passion for it is great as well. But I've had some pro shows where some fighters have really sold out the venue,
yeah,
and and it is like, it's mad, man. Like in York Hall, because York Hall's very enclosed, like the fans are
yeah,
right on the ring, basically, like
yeah, yeah,
above and all on the
yeah,
sides. Um, like York Hall when it's live, York Hall's amazing, man, and it's amazing, man, and I've like, there was one show I did for Mervyn Turner, a Shamrock show, and there was one Albanian fighter. His name was Yulde. I can't remember his surname, but it was Yulde. And bro, his fans were just, I've never experienced anything like that in York Hall. Never.
100%, 100%.
Bruv, I started announcing the guy, yeah, in his corner. Bro, it got so loud in there that I couldn't even hear myself through the speakers. That's how mad it went. And then when I watched it back on because it was being recorded and streamed, like even the commentator said we can barely hear like anything apart from just pure madness.
Yeah,
So like and because it's pro boxing, like and if the fans really turn up for pro boxing, you can feel the passion for it is a bit more raw, should I say. And there was another fight. I remember at the time it got ranked seventh fight of the year, ranked seventh in
oh
all of
wow.
British boxing. Yeah, and it was Louis Isaacs versus Dan Morley in York Hall, and that was a mental fight, man, and the atmosphere for that was insane as well. So that's another one that goes down the books. So like it's different
Yeah,
when you compare the pro game to like influencer boxing, but they're both amazing in their own way, man. I love
yeah,
them both. Yeah,
yeah. Now talking about the York Hall,
mm,
Misfits 011, right? We got the main event, Jarvis
yeah,
versus B Dave. The co-main,
that's
Elena
awesome.
Vampira versus Julie Parker, who's going to be
Yeah,
making her Misfits boxing debut,
debut. Yeah,
right? She brings in a huge crowd from Brazil.
yeah,
Now, you're a man who's already been working at the York Hall. You've worked at pro
mm,
boxing shows.
yeah. Your call's my
Tell,
home. It's my
bro,
home, bro.
tell us how, like, what to expect at York Hall.
Um, if like I know it will be packed out.
Yeah,
Um, get ready to hear noise, man. If it a
yeah.
packed out York Hall, there's noise, and it's amazing, and the atmosphere is just sick. So like I think like this is awesome that Misfits is coming to York Hall. So like influencer boxing is coming to like the
Home of boxing.
yeah, the home of British boxing, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I believe the atmosphere in there, like the influencer side, will draw in some of that raw boxingness, if that makes sense. Do you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Um, and I think it's great. And like, that's for such an iconic place.
yeah,
Um, I'm like grateful and feel like it's a privilege to be announced in the first ever Misfits event at the iconic York Hall. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? So that'll go down in history, man, and that's awesome.
yeah, of
That's
course. Now, if I had to get your prediction for the main event,
mm.
we got Jarvis versus B-Dave. Who would you go for? Are you
Or
allowed to say
no, I mean like
no?
I could give
Yeah,
like an opinion. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not like saying I'm supporting either one. I wish them the best of luck, both of them, really, and I hope it turns out to be a great fight. Um,
yeah,
I mean, I would say on the more technical side, I would say Jarvis has it, but I think B Dave is so unpredictable that and if he catches Jarvis, he could be in trouble.
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
that's the way I see it.
yeah.
That's the way I
Um,
see it.
yeah, man. I'm excited for this card.
Like he's
November
got the power.
17th.
He's got the power to
Yeah,
to to rock
yeah,
Jarvis 100%, and like because
yeah,
he's like really awkward and throws those haymakers. If he gets caught, he'll be
yeah,
in
yeah,
trouble for sure. But Jarvis has
yeah,
got to like I think stick to more of like the boxings, try and like lead off with the jab and stuff.
yeah. Of
But yeah, I
course.
think it'll be a good fight.
I've personally got my boy B Dave. I just after his last performance on the Misfits Prime card, I don't know,
Yeah,
man. I just think he's improved, bro. I think he's really gonna
he
bring it. And
has.
York Hall is the type of atmosphere that's really gonna encourage him. And yeah, I've just got so much faith in B Dave, and I'm excited for the other fights to be announced. Of course, all goes down November 17th live on the Zone, and that's not even a pay-per-view. It's subscription, so you get a
Yeah, yeah,
subscription, you watch these fights, and there's going to be other fights announced. From what I heard, they are very, very good fights. Now,
really.
Hus.
I only
Yeah,
know
yeah.
two. I'm only aware of
I've
two.
there's a few, man. There's a few.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now my question for you is when you do your influencer boxing shows and you go
Yeah.
back to that pro boxing audience, what sort of reception do you get? Like, do you get these, what sort of like reception do you get from the fans? Like,
That's
is
a
it
good
like an actual
question.
thing of them hating influencer boxing?
No, I've never received any sort of hate um at at really any show, to be honest. And
Yeah,
I think like there has been times where at pro shows where some people in the crowd, like there's some of them like come and say hello and ask for photos and stuff, and
yeah,
because of Misfits,
yeah, yeah,
so it's good, and I think it's like good that I'm working all over the place, sort of.
yeah,
Like, so I'm doing influencer boxing and coming and doing pro shows and small hall pro shows as well. So like it's good to like mix, I think, both worlds together, and it helps both ways, I believe.
yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
N- Now, Hus, my final question is,
Go for it, man.
what would be your ultimate achievement in ring announcing on the influencer boxing scene?
um
What's the end goal for you?
I mean, the end goal, I mean, I wouldn't say an end goal, but like what I would like to achieve in announcing in the influencer scene. You know what? I would say probably if I got to announce like KSI's retirement fight,
Oh wow. Yeah,
that would be a huge achievement for me.
yeah,
Definitely,
yeah.
hands down. And
I
if that
think
would
I've
if that happened to be as well, like KSI versus Jake Paul,
yeah,
oh, could you imagine that,
bro,
man?
the scenes, yeah, yeah,
Could you imagine that? And yeah, because I've never got to announce KSI. I've only announced him once, and that was the Prime Card media workout for him to come out to the ring to do his workout. That's the only one time I've ever announced him like into a ring. And
yeah,
yeah, if I could do his retirement fight, yeah, that would be massive for me, man.
yeah. I totally agree with you. I think KSI versus Jake,
Mm.
when it happens, I think it's a matter of when rather than if. It has to be Wembley Stadium, bro. Imagine in front of 100,000 people and you're just there ring announcing, you know?
Yeah, that's a goal as well. A
Yeah,
stadium. I've never done a stadium before, and that would be mental to do that. And just to levitate a stadium, like with announcements. That's insane. That would be
yeah,
insane. But yeah, that's
yeah,
that's that's a that would be like a huge achievement for me. KSI retirement fight in a stadium. That would be my goal in the influencer scene. And I've even for the pro scene, I would say to announce a world title fight. That would be
yeah.
that would be another achievement. I've done
Massive. Yeah,
European and international, but not a world title yet. So
yeah,
that would be an
yeah.
achievement for me. Yeah.
Bro, I can't imagine the goosebumps, but
Mhm.
Huss, my
Yeah,
guy,
man.
it's been nice having you, bro. Honestly, I've
Thank
wanted
you, bro.
to bring the people, the fans, should I say, this interview because I just want your story to be out there.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that,
I
man.
will be uploading this on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'll be tagging
Mhm.
my guy Huss. Please give him a follow.
Thank you, bro.
Also,
Respect.
shout out to Box Zone Official, kindly sponsoring this interview.
Box Zone
Um,
official.
yeah, man, they do edits, graphic design.
Box Zone official.
Box
There you
Zone
go.
Official, there you have
Official,
it. And
man.
also, shout out. Mams, shout out Prime,
Shout out Mam,
shout
shout
out
out Prime, shout
KSI,
out the whole Misfits
shout out
gang,
Happy Punch, everyone,
Happy
man.
Punch,
Well,
Wasserman, the Zone.
Waterman, yep, Cali,
Respect to
yep,
everyone, and
100%, my guy,
yeah,
100%.
man.
Well,
Just looking forward to the
Huss,
next events, man.
100%. It's been good having you, my guy. Thank you, bro.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me, bro.